Alright, so we've got this old Suzuki DR250. Not too sure on the year, can't remember. I'll look right now. It's in the 80s, I believe. So I picked this thing up a few years ago for about 700 bucks, 650, something like that. One morning I woke up, I messaged the guy that night and said, blah blah blah, will you drop it off? He said it wasn't working. Come down from Sydney, dropped it off, called me. I woke up to his arm out the front, blah blah, ran out and just woke up. I remember having no shoes on and stuff, and he's there, like, I'm like, obviously he said it didn't work, so I tried to kick it over. I remember kicking my foot in the ground and like stuffed my toe. I don't think I broke it, but it's bleeding, all that. But the guy's like, I'm like, whatever, I'll buy it off you. And then the guy's gone and like sat in his car. And I can't remember what I did to it, but I played with something and then hopped on it, rolled it down the street, kicked it into like second gear, and it started right in front of him. And he just sat there because he was like half laughing at me, watching me roll down the street trying to start it. And I started it, and then he was pretty upset because I just bought his bike for 600 bucks and got it running in 2 seconds. But I rode that around, it rode around for years, and you know, I've just kind of neglected it. She's been sitting in the yard for at least a year. I took the seat off. I'm pretty sure I put it in the garage so the lever didn't actually get stuffed up from the sun, which is at least one thing I did right. And I lost the keys for it, but I just found the keys for it the other day. So we're gonna try to get it running and try and restore the whole bike. I've got another 1980 something Kawasaki 81 KL, half restored that. I put a new piston in the motor of my cousin like a few years ago, but yeah. So anyway, we'll look at this Suzuki now. Alright, so we got the plate up in there, 83, the 5th May 83. I was born in May, so she was born in May too. Nice. So we got to try, someone's painted this, I didn't do this, it's pretty funky. So I've got to try and work out a way to get it up in the shed so I can work on it. So you got the ramp set up. See if we can bloody get it in there. All good so far. I've got the front half in pretty easy. I probably should open this other door, might help. She's in. It fucking worked magnificently. That's crazy. I need to try to put like some holders on the door so the doors can get like, they can stay open because they just keep banging. It's quite frustrating. But I mean, it's cool his bike has a stand. The YZs I got don't. Like, it's pretty annoying. They don't work anyway. So we got the key for it. I don't really think I'm going to try and start it because I'll just be really harming it. The fuel tank's still got stuff in it. So I don't know where to start with this one. It's a kickstart, obviously. It's like 1983, so I'll say we'll drain the fuel tank. It can't be ridden, but so the chain and all that stuff I'm gonna try to fix up. Is I want to try to take the whole bike apart realistically, but or what needs to be taken apart anyway. The shocks look good for sitting in the rain for years. They don't make them like they used to, eh? So yeah, we might make a custom exhaust for it. Probably have a suss at the wiring. See there, it's meant to have a battery because it's a road registerable bike. So I want to try and put it on the road again. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Should have gloves on for this. Oh, that's rusty. That's old. Yeah, so just drain the fuel. Probably drain the carbs in. Exhaust quite rusty, but gonna fix all that up. So there you go, that's a bottle of the old fuel. Quite very amber. I found out this tap is like seized. I can't, oh, it pushes in. No, it's seized. I might be able to fix it by the looks of it. See how we go. Alright, the tank's off. I'm gonna see if I can knock out that little ding in it. Whoa. Not too rusty, realistically. Pulled off the nasty blue cover. The ingenuity of this is unreal, man. These little brackets like spin to the light, and you can like move them out of the way, open up all this room to try and work on stuff. Back when they thought about in the 80s, thought about trying to fix it instead of just build it. When it breaks, replace it, you know? Sick. These, the shocks, like they still have them normally, but like, this is like a normal bike pump style valve. Cool, eh? Alright, so I'm not too sure exactly, like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know where to start. It's just like overwhelming. So like, we got the wiring loom. I've got to try and, that's a bit hard to get to in there. Might have to use a 1/4 inch or something. Anyway, so we get to that. Pull in all this wiring loom. It's all like, this was through there. It's all like weird tie thing. You know, had all these up, clipped into there, down in there, all the wires, doors banging. Yeah, so this video is kind of also partially for me. This wiring, just trying to get a rough idea of where it was running. Probably remake most of this. So we got another metal tab here, holding it in. And then, yeah, we're gonna take off these indicators. Just try and pull the wiring loom out, lay it out, and work out what we need, like what needs redone and all that stuff. Gonna want some WD on some certain things, otherwise you might have a bit of a hard time. So I'm taking off this battery bracket so I can actually get a clear shot at that. I'll, you know, worked out how to do it. You're meant to take it off instead of trying to do it all together. Actually get in and undo that bolt without stuffing it up. Quite funny enough, I actually do have to go get a 1/4 inch for it. Spanner won't fit and the 3/8 socket hits the side up there, so a little bit annoying. Not really, I just have to go stand up. A bit lazy over here, probably why we're working on the motorbike instead of the cars. Alright, so both these rear indicators, by the looks of it, they've got 2 wires going to each one, and they both come up into a common shared, what looks like an earth, I believe. But the signal, because like, you know, you go left and right, so the power is coming from 2 different wires, and the green one goes to the green one and the black goes to the black. So that's pretty straightforward. I can just unplug all these indicators, take them off completely. Alright, so I pulled off the battery bracket as well, the lights. The battery bracket has that thing, the 3-pin plug for that. So now we got this loom freed, and we can bring it down through here. So we got this other wire here that runs down to the motor. Not too sure, it could be like a sensor for maybe a oil light or something to do with gear, neutral sensor. The shifter is there, so maybe that's what that is. But yeah, we'll try to see what we can do now. Alright, so over this side, got the brake light switch on the rear brake. So I'm taking off the pegs because I've undone the nut that holds on the brake lever, so I can easily just like undo the spring, tilt it on an angle, because I've got that pulled through, but I don't want to like stretch it with pliers. There's no point. I can just undo it all because I want to powder coat or paint everything anyway, so may as well just pull it all apart. Alright, so this bolt just let out an almighty scream. I stood on it to, undo it easier, and it's just screamed at me, so it must be quite rusty. So surely that has to do something. Round 2. Whoa. Damn, that's quite loud. Alright, so I'm not too sure what this is even actually for. I can't really think of it right now. It's probably for something specific. But yeah, that is that. So it's just raining. I've seen some spots on the rear fender. So anyway, I've got this wire unplugged from the loom. These plugs right there. Unplug that. So yeah, the motor wiring is them 3 things by the looks of it. And then the rest of this wiring loom all just runs up to like up there, the front light and stuff. And like it has looks like a relay in there. And then that thing, coil or whatever it is, for the spark plug. Take that off. Alright, so we slid that out because we've pivoted that back. Been able to slide the brake out. Yeah. They're still connected. Now we just undo this. That comes off easy. Might even replace that switch if they're cheap. Oh no, I'm bending the fucking thing. Not really, but almost. Bent the rod. It's already bent. Got the motor kind of exposed now. Haven't even tried to turn it over yet. It's got compression. I don't want to turn over too much. I don't know, I might take it apart. Because I don't want to turn it over if it's got heaps of water in it, you know what I mean? But then again, if it's got heaps of water in it, it's just even worse, it's sitting there. Well, it must be in gear because the bike's trying to roll forward, so I'll stop doing that. So I'm not sure what this is, but it looks like since it's going up to the tacho and it's in the head, I'm guessing that would be for RPM. Could be wrong, but see, it looks like it's going to where the cam would be. Assume that would, if it has an RPM gauge, find out. Oh, my leg. Yeah. Alright. So I think that's for RPM. And then there'll be one for a speedo, which I would assume would be in a car. It goes to the gearbox normally, or like, I don't know, sometimes wheels and stuff, but that's fancy. Alright, so where's the other one go? Well, it could be in the wheel. It might actually be in the wheel. That might make sense. Alright, so there's a cable going from the wheel to the headlight. And then a cable through the headlight that goes into the speedo. So by the looks of it, the speedo comes from inside the front drum of the wheel, which is cool. Definitely looking different. Looks a bit naked at the moment. Alright, so I popped off the accelerator cable. You just kind of pull like the throttle on the carby, the flap, like pivot it. Trying to back off this, and then try and slide this out, but you only want to touch one of them, because otherwise then you gotta like kind of reset it afterwards. I probably should do that anyway because it's aged, but anyway. Accelerator cable's off the carbs. I need to go grab a screwdriver and I can pop this carbs in off. Phillips head on the other side. I need to get a fatter head screwdriver. This is a shit one. Got the carby here. Ugh. I am glad I took this off. Cooney. Damn. Old school, eh? Real old. Alright, so I have that shaft for the clutch all marked up. So it just goes on in a relatively pretty close place to last, same place as last time, because we know it works. So you don't really want to move it. Now this bolt might be one of the ones where it has a groove and the bolt has to come all the way out, so I might just take it out just in case. I got it up a little bit by just doing that. Ow. So that's down there too. Screw this back on so I don't lose it. Alright, so the bike has a decompression like valve lever flap, whatever it is. I haven't actually pulled apart the motor to see exactly how it works, but you've got a lever up here next to your clutch, and that stops from compression locking or other reasons you can use it. Must be water in that indicator because it's dripping everywhere. So I need to grab a hex to pull out this coil. I've got this loose as well. Now that we're over here, see if we can get it out. Alright, so we're disconnecting the handlebars and stuff. Free it all up. Alright, so I disconnected the brake light switch for the front brake. Up there.
Oh, there's a spider there, right too. I didn't even see that shit. Alright, well, anyway, when you pull that, it looks like it pulls away. So it'll probably break some sort of connection. Yeah, it's got a positive and a negative probably by the looks of it. Not really positive and negative, but you know, just a circuit in general. And the circuit gets broken when you... Oh no, it must get completed. And you pull that, that even completes the circuit to make the brake light come on. Cool beans. I'm considering taping this up because I don't want it to get damaged. When I pull it down to there. Anyway, I know there's a spider around here somewhere. Hope it's not on my keys. Alright mate, I get it. You're a train. Even though I don't live near the train tracks, so I can bloody hear it. Well, I do live kind of near the train tracks. It's interesting. I wonder how far the train tracks are actually from my house. Let me look that up. Bro, this train is so annoying. Then there's another one, it's like they're having a battle. Just like beep beep boop beep. Ooh. Beeping their heads off. I can't wait. It's actually stopped. Which is good. Every time I stop recording, it starts again. So if I just like keep talking to myself, hopefully the train like stops. Oh, I just heard it, but it sounds in the distance a bit now. I somehow just did a classic and like lost one of the bolts right in front of my eyes. Wait, I swear like. So I dropped the bolt. Just then trying to put the other side back on. I think I found the other bolt I lost down in there. Pretty sure. So I was using the flash before when I didn't need it. And now I actually need it. Oh no, I think done myself some mischief there. We got the two bolts. They're both there in that spot. So I just screwed them back in so I don't lose them. But with the flanges moved down, so I can still take the exhaust out. Alright, so that spring there has a tiny little leg that goes up into a hole just to the left of it, of that leg. And you gotta clock that back, because that comes over here, and we can't get that pin out because it's hitting the drum. So we need to get that out to be able to slide that up through there to get it off the lever, off the handlebars. So I bolted that back up, and I've like now this has come down further with that cable's not on it, but I've realized that we could actually unscrew that nut, bring that cable all the way down, and then that would allow that to drop past the hub, and then you can put that pin in, because it actually does have to go in that way. Otherwise, if you put it in this way, that's so long that this back bit's going to be catching on the hub, so you couldn't pull the brake. Alright, so I might call it a day. It's getting late, it's like 6 o'clock at night. Gonna go inside. Yeah. It's a bit naked now. Exhaust is pretty much loose. I just gotta separate it there in the middle so I can pull it apart. That bolt's here. I gotta make sure I don't lose those 3 bolts there. Now I have to actually remember what they're for, because looking at them I've forgotten what 2 are for already. Oh, the exhaust. Ah, alright, so there's two for the exhaust, that hold the exhaust on, and the other small ones for there. Alright. And then, yeah, we're getting there. We'll pull the motor out, redo the whole frame.